Hello, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another reaction video. It's time for the Tudors episode number 3 of season 2. And yeah, a little look back at the previous episode, episode number 2. Not a whole lot of stuff happened in that episode. There were some changes here and there that are mostly important for the rest of the season, I think. The Archbishop died. That's one thing, that's going to be pretty important because he's going to be replaced with Cranmer. So yeah, that's pretty important. But yeah, the rest of the episode, we got some stuff about the assassination attempt on Anne Boleyn, which we talked about in previous reactions. That never happened as far as I'm concerned. I couldn't find anything about it. Never in my whole life read anything about an assassination attempt on her life, especially by the Pope. It could have happened, I don't know, but it's not written down somewhere, so I think they made it up. At first I was like, why did they do that? Why do they want to introduce such a major plot point? Because, assassinating a would-be queen is a pretty big deal. But, watching the episode, I was like, who is this guy, So it kind of works because you want to know who is this assassin guy. And, he works at court because he has very good access to Anne Boleyn. He just walks into her chambers. You don't do that when you don't work there, so it's someone who works there, and as a viewer you want to know, who is this guy? And of course I know that the assassination attempt is not going to be successful because if they do that, they're going to rewrite whole history, and they're not going to do that. So yeah, it kind of works from a dramatic point of view, to bring some tension into the episodes, but from a historical standpoint it doesn't make any sense at all. We got some more stuff between Henry and the church. I think all the clergy signed their allegiance over to Henry. He was saying, are you faithful to me or to the Pope? You can't do both. So the Archbishop, when he was still alive, came with a big scroll and everybody signed their name on it. And, they now pledged their allegiance to him and not to the Pope. It's a big deal. I think it meant that Thomas More resigned over it. That's also one major plot point that we got in the previous episode. He resigned his position, went back home, and he was talking to his daughter, about becoming a martyr. Clairvoyance, I don't know. He's going to be a martyr. He's going to be a saint, actually. And so, yeah, those are two things that are really important. For the rest, yeah, we got some stuff with what else did we get? Yeah, Charles Brandon. He was exiled from court for questioning Henry's commitment to marry Anne, and but he was back at court pretty quickly, so that didn't have any effect. Or I don't know why did they show that. It wasn't the same episode. He was back again, so didn't add a whole lot. Anne got the royal jewelry from the Queen. Henry requested it back. She finally gave it back, and Henry gave it to Anne, and he also gave her a title, Marquess, I think it was. So yeah, there was some things happening in the episode, but not anything that has to do with what the season is all about. Of course, the coronation, the wedding, the downfall of Anne Boleyn, her imprisonment, and her execution. So I hope in this episode number 3, we're going to get some more details into that. Of course, we got a long way to go until the execution, which I said is probably going to happen in the last episode. I don't know for sure. I hope so. I don't want to see it dragged out into season 3 because, like I said, we have got a lot of queens to go through. He's got 4 more. So yeah, I think they're going to wrap it up in this season, and they're going to make some steps. So maybe in this episode number 3, they're going to get married now. I think they cleared the way. They can make some time jumps here and there to do so. Even in the previous episode number 2, I think earlier on in the episode they were walking in the garden and it was snowing. And later on we had Thomas Wyatt. He was collecting the jewelry from the Queen. He was making out with a girl, and they got undressed outside and kissed and everything. You don't do that when it's winter, so that was in springtime. So a lot of time passes during this episode sometimes, and even in between episodes they're going to make some time jumps. So Yeah, we're gonna wait and see. Pretty eager to check it out. Can't wait what they're gonna show us now. Maybe the wedding. I don't know. Hope so. And yeah, let's check it out. This is episode number 3 of season 2 of the Tudors. Let's go.
Does he still persist in using the most foul and abusive language against my master's daughter, Lady Anne, who's soon to be queen?
The Duke can speak for himself.
I'm asking you.
So Boleyn and Brendan are at odds with each other. You know, we clearly see that in the previous episode. That they weren't on the same page anymore. But now even their servants, or the guys that fall under them, are arguing. They're not only arguing, they're fighting each other. Holy shit. Yeah, this is not good. I don't think that Henry is going to be very happy with this.
Father, I seek sanctuary in this place.
Of course, my child.
Oh, he's going to kill him inside the church? You can't do that.
Stop! Stop!
Man, even I know you can't do that.
Enough is enough.
Okay, now, man.
You fool, Richard. You've killed him.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a fool. And he's going to be in trouble. There's Charles. Yo, he's not going to be happy. Wait till the king finds out about it. Holy shit. Man, this episode is off to a good start.
One murder has been committed here already.
You scum! Your Grace, shut up! You're both dead men.
Listen,
Yeah, they are.
those who commit murder in church are damned in the eyes of God.
Wonder what they're going to do with these guys. I think in episode number 1, the cook who tried to poison Fisher, they boiled him alive. So I think for this offense has to be even worse. Yeah, this is going to increase the tension between those two. That is something I have to look up, you know. I really want to know if this really happened or if they made it up.
The king told me it was a sign I was pregnant, but I said it was nothing of the sort.
Pregnant before they are married. Isn't it a sin back then? I don't know.
To make representations to the Pope on your Majesty's behalf, King Francis did no such thing.
Doesn't matter. What else should we have expected from the King of France?
Yeah, said so in the previous episode, you know. One time there are friends, then there are enemies again.
The annulment should still be decided and declared by the Church proper. That is to say, the Archbishop of Canterbury.
Yeah, that's why Cranmer is gonna be the Archbishop.
I think I know exactly who will suit.
Me too.
Katerina.
He smuggled his wife over in a box. Oh man. I don't think that would be a very pleasant journey.
It's not the nicest way to travel, even for an illegal wife.
But you get motion sickness and everything.
I wonder if the Pope knows of the reputation Cranmer has here for being devoted heart and soul to the Lutheran movement.
Don't think Henry cares, man. He wants Cranmer in that position because he can help him. He doesn't really care about what the Pope thinks.
I fear for the Queen. They say Anne Boleyn hates her openly, and her daughter too. She's made threats against the child.
Yeah, Mary is a threat to Anne Boleyn, of course. And to any children of Anne Boleyn. Because she's the oldest daughter of Henry, so she's first in line for the throne. And of course, Anne Boleyn wants her children to be first in line, so I can see that.
King of England asks your approval to appoint a new Archbishop of Canterbury after the death of Archbishop Warham.
It's nice that he asked.
What do we know of this Cranmer?
Not a whole lot, I think.
There are strong rumors that he is a secret Lutheran.
Then we should not approve his appointment.
I think Henry is expecting this to happen.
What harm can a nobody inflict upon our holy church?
So, yeah, you're wrong there, dude. Kremlin is going to be instrumental in the coming episodes. So, yeah, big mistake from the Pope there. But I don't think Henry would have cared if he said no. You know, he would just appoint him anyway.
Your Majesty, I confess I had some scruples about accepting the office.
Yeah, Kremlin himself was like, why me? You know, I'm a nobody.
And now, Archbishop, as principal minister of spiritual jurisdiction in our realm, I ask you to determine once and for all my great matter.
He didn't waste any time.
Majesty, I shall address the question with the greatest urgency and presently pronounce my verdict.
I think Henry's heard that before. So I wouldn't take too long if I was Kremlin.
Since the departure of Thomas More, England has lacked a chancellor. I'm trusting you to fill that office.
Yeah, he was counting on that. Dangerous guy, this Cromwell. If you haven't heard too much about him or haven't read too much about him, I really should urge you to dive into this guy. A really interesting character. You're late.
We are gathered here together.
Of course, he's strongly up against this marriage, so...
And will you both answer that you will keep all these coming days rightful, with right wiseness and discretion?
Henry, Anne, her father, her brother, finally. Took so long. 13 episodes it took.
Master Berto.
Oh.
It's no use.
That's the assassin. So we never saw his face and now all of a sudden takes down his hood.
Then go where your heart tells you.
Yeah, and I think I never saw the guy before in the show. I don't think he's a servant. He's dressed pretty nicely, so I don't know who he is.
My lady?
Bringing some bad news.
He warns you not to try to return to him, since he is now married, Lady Anne.
Man, heartbreaking.
You must also cut your household expenses. In his generosity, the king allows you...
In his generosity, holy shit.
And what of my daughter? What of Mary? May I see her?
Madam, forgive me.
Yeah, Brendan is clearly not happy with it.
May the Lord bless you.
Yeah, hands down. The most tragic character on this show. Until now. I don't know, of course, the rest of the series, but... yeah, really tragic.
As long as I live, I will call myself the Queen of England.
Yeah, fortunately for her, she's not going to live very long. You know, she's not going to be around to see Anne Boleyn be executed. If she was, it would probably for her be a moment of redemption.
Plenary, whole, and entire power, preeminence, authority, prerogative, and jurisdiction. Which means...
yeah, this is another step. Breaking away from Rome.
There are rumors that the king has married Anne in secret. No. And that she's already with child.
Yeah, this is worst case scenario for these guys.
Therefore, that the king's marriage to Anne Boleyn is declared both valid and lawful in the eyes of God.
Yeah, this is really important stuff. Oh man, this whole Tudor, you know, all these things that Henry did, breaking away from the church. It's so interesting.
It seems so cruel of the king to humiliate her in every way, pretending to marry that harlot.
What? Careful what you say, man. He loves Anne Boleyn.
And a client of Mr. Cromwell, I thought that you could speak up for my mistress.
Mr. Cromwell is the least likely man to sympathise with your mistress. You must know that, Elizabeth.
Yeah. He puts himself in danger if he speaks in favour of Catherine. He's never going to do that.
I'm sorry.
I get that she asks, you know, she wants to help her mistress, but, you know, he's not the guy to do it. He's a newly appointed member of the Privy Council, and he's going to go there and speak in behalf of Catherine. You knew what was going to happen, dude.
And his subsequent secret marriage, which I declare null and void.
Don't think Henry cares, man.
Of the validity of His Majesty's marriage can only be decided by the courier, which has not yet reached its conclusion.
Yeah, and because you didn't reach a conclusion yet, he broke away from the church. It took way too long.
From communion and from God.
That's the assassin, you know? He's standing right there to compare you.
To your masters everywhere.
Come with me, Master Brereton.
So he went back to the Vatican. So still don't know how he got so access to Anne Boleyn's chambers and everything.
We are grateful to you for bringing news of these terrible events and for all you tried to do to prevent them.
So it's not somebody just works in the household and nobody. Seems like he's somebody after all. So
I want the people to love their new queen as I love her. And if I can love her, why shouldn't they?
Yeah, a lot of them is going to support Catherine.
And shall have every reason to do so.
Yeah, I think Cromwell needs to make sure that during the coronation and the procession and everything, that there are only going to be people there who support Anne and not Catherine, because they're going to boo her or maybe even throw some stuff at her.
Just sister. How are you, sister?
Man, he's got a pretty big belly already.
Famous astrologer confirmed what the physicians say and what I know in my heart. That it's a boy. The king is overjoyed.
They're all wrong. It's a girl, Elizabeth.
And what is it?
I think they were happy tears, you know. I've been waiting 13 episodes for this.
Even though the king has made me High Constable for the day. But if I did, His Majesty would remove my head and then I should be genuinely indisposed.
Yeah, I think you better go, dude. Get it over with.
It's a pretty head in any case, and I don't want to lose it either.
Just go, man, and pretend. Oppose the marriage, oppose the coronation, everything behind closed doors, but don't do it in public. Oh man. Gonna have another go at it. Gonna try and shoot her.
Where are the crowds?
No crowds. They'll still support Catherine. Gotta say, man, these costumes look amazing on the show. Oh, he missed. I don't think Henry even noticed something happened. There's some JFK shit right there, man. Lee Harvey Oswald in the book depository. Yeah, you miss your opportunity, man. Throw him under the podium.
Virtute firman perpeti.
It's finally here, the coronation. Took a long time.
With this,
he's like, I'm now head of the church. I will do it. Yeah, also, costumes looks amazing, man.
are the two scepters of the sovereign. Honor and grace be to our queen.
I don't think that's correct. Giving her that orb. I think that orb didn't exist. I think that was made after Charles II, I think it was. Don't sue me if I'm wrong, but definitely wasn't a thing during Henry VIII's reign.
Was not everything well done?
Yes, it was beautiful.
It was well done. Not many people.
It was more like a funeral than a parade.
Yeah, so she noticed.
Remember, you are my queen now.
I know.
Yeah, in the end, that's all that matters, right, for her?
You are my queen.
If you have his approval, who cares what the people think?
And where is Sir Thomas More? I don't see him here either.
Yeah, they're not going to show up.
Then he chose not to attend.
That's dangerous. So Fisher and Moore are not there.
I am already endeavoring to find out, my lord.
Oh, I sincerely trust that you are, Your Grace.
I have not forgotten Pennington.
There's fireworks between these guys, man.
Move through next. Next one. Go on.
Oh, checking for powder.
Move on. Take your gloves off. Show me your hands. Gloves off.
Yeah, he's screwed. Man, that's smart. He sneaked his way in. He will be in trouble otherwise.
Oh, Mary! And it's all for me!
Yeah, for now.
How is Her Majesty bearing up under all of this?
I am no longer allowed to see her, and it is increasingly difficult for us to exchange letters.
I'm going to try and see her.
Yeah, that's really dangerous.
When I believed the king to be the most enlightened and promising prince in Christendom, I was sure his reign would be a golden age.
No, that is gonna be his daughters. Elizabeth, that is, not Mary. Nothing golden about Mary's reign.
Thanks to His Majesty, you have all been delivered from the darkness and bondage of papal thraldom, idolatry, and superstition.
Damn. Tough words.
Sir.
Lady Mary, I have come to inform you.
Damn, she grew up.
His Majesty's marriage to your mother has been declared null and void. Your mother was never legally Queen of England and must now accept the title of Dowager Princess.
Her mother doesn't accept it, and Mary doesn't accept it as well.
I know of no Queen of England save my mother. And I will accept no other queen except my mother.
Careful what you say, man.
May I not even write to her?
Not even a farewell note, considering your intransigence.
Yeah, Boleyn doesn't like Mary, of course. Also, in his eyes, she's a threat.
I must cease to call myself queen. Even though I was crowned, so...
Still call yourself queen, you know, just not in public.
How did you get permission?
I wrote to Mr. Cromwell personally.
And you are a brave man.
Did he? Or did he just go there without permission?
I can't, not now. While the baby.
He's gonna go to somebody else. Already? Oh man. Yeah, that's what's gonna happen, you know. If she turns him down too many times, he's just gonna go to somebody else. See, he's already looking.
Exquisite, isn't she?
Of course, Brandon is gonna encourage that behavior. He wants to see Anne removed. So. Man, this guy. Holy shit, man. He's just married to Anne. She's pregnant. He's going to sleep around with somebody else. And then he has the balls to behead his own wife because he was sleeping around.
What's this?
The letter from the Pope.
Final decision of the Curia in Rome.
It's gonna set him off.
The Pope threatens to excommunicate me if I do not return to Catherine. It's too late.
Yeah.
Hold on. Hold on. Hold on.
Oh, she's in labor already.
Jousts, banquets, and masks to celebrate the birth of my son. I can't decide whether...
That's pretty cool, you know. We all know that it's gonna be a girl. To see him so excited. Can't wait to see his face.
Push. Push.
And also Anne is gonna be really disappointed as well, of course. Because she knows how important a boy is.
You're a very healthy baby girl.
Yeah, you should be happy, you know. Yeah, you have a healthy child, but she's still disappointed. That's pretty sad.
And all the women whore. What is there to be sure?
He's happy and laughing now. Man, look at his face. He's not happy. Puts on a straight face, he's gonna pretend. Oh man. And he's like, not a girl.
I'm so sorry.
Man, that's really sad. Yeah, you have to say sorry for having a girl. If he only knew what kind of queen she will become. If he knew that, then he would be happy and proud. But yeah, this is just sad, man. And here he goes. First one to sleep around with. Can she say no? I don't think. Yeah, she can probably, but it will be her last day at court then.
Yes, Your Majesty.
Come, let's play.
That's not the chess that I remember. Yeah, it doesn't look like that she wants to say no. She's enjoying it. Man. This is tough to watch, man. So that was episode number 3 of season 2 of the Tudors, and I gotta say this was really a really good episode. I think it's even one of the best episodes of the series so far. There were a couple of good ones. The last one of season 1 was really good, and a couple of others in season 1, but this, yeah, it was a really good episode. We got a lot of stuff. Sometimes it feels a bit rushed here and there because all of a sudden Anne is really pregnant, and at the end of the episode she already delivers the baby. We get the coronation, we get the wedding. There's really a lot of stuff crammed into this episode. We got some really heated exchanges between Brandon and Boleyn. We got the assassination attempt. You know, like I said in the intro and in previous reactions, I never read anything about an assassination attempt on Anne's life, during a coronation or anywhere in her lifetime. But, you know, maybe I missed it. So I'm going to dive into that. Really eager to check out who this guy was. Maybe it's a made-up guy, I don't know. You know, the order of the Jesuits that the Pope was talking about, that's a true order. So yeah, I have to dig into that one to find out a little bit more about it. But yeah, overall great episode. Like I said, too much, a lot of stuff crammed into this episode, maybe a little too much. But yeah, it's episode 3. We got 7 episodes after this, so I think they're in a bit of a hurry. So yeah, like I said, we got the wedding, we got the coronation, we got the delivery of the baby, and we got Henry already sleeping around with another girl, all in the same episode. So that's a bit crazy, you know. You don't have any time to wander off. You really need to be glued to the screens because a lot of stuff happens. And yeah, so like I said, maybe it's a bit too much, but it didn't feel very rushed. Everything happens in an organic way. Time jumps are something that's going to happen, of course, in this kind of shows. You have 4 seasons of an entire reign of a king, so there's going to be some time jumps in it, and so they did a couple of time jumps in this one as well. Not really bothered by it, it happens, and also, yeah, we got to see Mary again, Mary Tudor, Bloody Mary. And she's all grown up. The last time we saw her, she was a little girl. How old was she then? Maybe 8. I don't know how old she's supposed to be in this show now. They mix timelines up and everything, but yeah, maybe I think she's a teenager now, and yeah, she was told by Boleyn that her mother is not the queen anymore, and she's forbidden even to see her mother. That's pretty harsh, Henry is really doubling down on punishing Catherine. That's what he warned her for, just go along. He tried to have her give up the crown on numerous occasions. She refused, so I think he's now really punishing her for that. And yeah, but it's good to see Mary. She's going to be queen, of course, later on. We're not going to see that in this series, probably. What I think this show is, of course, called the Tudors, and she's a Tudor as well. But my guess is that they're going to stop at the end of episode 4 with the death of Henry. Don't think they're going to dive in too much in the reign of Mary and Elizabeth. There are other sources, other movies, other TV shows about that, between the struggle between Mary and Elizabeth and why she got nicknamed Bloody Mary. She, of course, tried to revert the kingdom back to the Catholic faith. She wasn't successful in that, but she persecuted a lot of Protestants, and that's why she got the name Bloody Mary. But I don't, she's a true supporter of her mother and true Catholic. So yeah, could we blame her that she tried to revert back to Catholic faith? I don't really think so. Of course, she persecuted people, which she considered heretics, but so did her brother, who was king for a short time, and also Elizabeth, did that with Catholics. So they were all blood on their hands. So, but yeah, the history books are written by the victors, and like I said, she was only queen for a short time, and the people who came after her did a good job of selling her as the bad guy, the bad girl, the villain. So that's why she's named Bloody Mary. But yeah, they all got blood on their hands. But yeah, really cool to see her again. And yeah, for now I just have to let everything sink in. A lot of stuff happening. A lot of stuff is going to happen when we move forward. Yeah, we also got Cranmer being Archbishop. That's also what we got. So yeah, a lot of stuff that happened in this episode, and but I think they executed pretty well. Didn't feel too rushed. Everything got its time to be told, and yeah, coronation. You don't have to spend half an hour on a coronation. That's not necessary. So I get that why we see everything in quick succession, and so yeah, I really liked this episode. Really was a good episode. Please drop your comments. Tell me what you thought about this episode. For me, like I said, one of the better episodes of the TV show so far. I hope they keep up this level. Can't wait to dive into the rest of the series to see what's going to happen. And yeah, we're going to work towards the downfall of the Boleyn family, of course. And a lot of interesting moments in that as well. So yeah, for now, I'm just going to wrap it up. Like I said, please drop the comments, what you thought about this episode and everything that we saw. The marriage, the coronation, the child delivery. Also, I haven't dived into that, but like I said in the reaction, really tragic stuff. That you have to apologize to your husband for having a girl. That's, yeah, in my eyes, it's brutal, of course, but we're looking at it with modern eyes, with our values that we have, and nowadays everybody is happy if you get a daughter or a son, doesn't really matter. Even the royal households, you know, when they have a daughter, no problem, you're going to be queen. But back then, it wasn't so common to have a girl on the throne, to have a queen. So boys were really important. And also for, you know, these kings back then, it was also very important to give their name to a male heir. Because if, you know, you have a girl and she's going to marry somebody else, they're going to take their name. So technically, when you do that, it's not going to, and they have children, so it's not going to be the House of Tudor anymore because it's a different house. So it's really important back then to have a boy and to have your name be written in the history books for a longer period of time. So yeah, that was really important to them. So yeah, I can understand it from that point of view, but it's, for me, it's really tragic, you know, that you have to apologize for having a girl. And like I said during the reaction, you know, if Henry only knew what kind of queen she was, would become, you know, Elizabeth have a very successful reign, very long reign as well. You know, they talked about the golden age, but you know, that's actually what her reign is often described as. So very, very important monarch in British history. So yeah, if he only knew. But he didn't, and he wanted a boy, and he's going to be disappointed because he said, you know, many boys will follow, but they didn't. She's going to have a couple of miscarriages, but yeah. So that's it. We're going to wrap it up. Again, I already did so, and then talked about some other stuff as well. But I just want to say thank you for watching, and like always, drop your comments, like the video. If you haven't subscribed to the channel and you feel that I deserve your subscription, please do so. It's very much appreciated, and it will really help out the channel. You know how big the channel is, bigger the channel gets. It's gonna give me more opportunity to make content. So yeah, really look forward to that. And if you're not subscribing, if you only checked out this video, also thank you. It's also very much appreciated. And have a good day. See you on the next one. Bye bye.